Burned equipment at the entrance to the village, shot up civilian cars and destroyed infrastructure. This is how one of the suburban villages of Kharkiv, Malorohan, looks now. Russian troops occupied it on the first day of the war. Vitaly Denisenko, a livestock specialist at the local farm, shows what is left after the arrival of the high-explosive bombs on the territory of the farm.
Разбомбили тут практически все.
Almost everything was bombed here. There was one barn, here the second, a third, then houses, tractors, all the equipment, the car, everything was destroyed.
Almost all the livestock of dairy cows, pigs and calves died. Many animals were burned alive. Those who managed to be saved are in the barn. It was Vitaly who took them out of the fire and then spent the night with them, fed and watered.
While the ceilings weren't ruined, we opened and kicked them all out. We broke the wall in the corner with a tractor and took them out through the cage.
Polina Savchenko, a resident of Malorohan, shows her house. Starting from February 24th, shells were constantly flying over her head. The farm buildings were hit by fragments. Electricity has not been restored yet. Look, a window was broken here and there, and here is a shell. That's how we are cooking. I gather firewood in the yard every day. There is a stove. And when did the electricity go out? On the second day of the war, 25th of February. When the Russians entered the street, she hid in the cellar and watched the occupants from there. They were on our streets, dirty, unwashed, ragged pants hanging like that. There were probably 3 patrols walking around or something. And this is another village liberated from the Russian troops. The units of the armed forces of Ukraine managed to eliminate the invaders and liberate Yakovlivka only at the end of March. About 600 people once lived here. There were no strategic military facilities or important infrastructure there. Nevertheless, the Russians did not allow humanitarian aid in the village. They mined the road. And on the night of the 2nd to the 3rd of March, the Air Force struck the village, destroying almost everything here. 4 people were killed, 14 more were wounded. Now there are almost no people left in the village. 30 houses have been completely destroyed and more than 100 houses have been damaged. Some went abroad, others moved to their relatives, and those who have managed to return live with their neighbors. Near Yakovlivka there is a small town of Marefa. Valeria Marchenko came here from Kharkiv in mid-March. She thought it would be quieter here. As soon as she arrived, she came under fire. She witnessed how the school and local house of culture was destroyed. The feeling was just like a house jumped, something like that. We arrived from Kharkiv and we saw the awful, terrible facts for several days. The Ukrainian army is gradually pushing back the enemy from the territory of the Kharkiv region. In villages liberated from the Russian world, sappers are demining the territories. Utility workers are cleaning up the settlements. Local residents are provided with humanitarian aid. However, according to Alexei Negubov, head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration, 22 communities are still under the control of Russian troops. Some villages are used by Russians as transit zones. They hold their lines in the occupied Vovchansk and Kupiansk. Reported by Marina Stepanenko, Natalia Belokudra, UATV News.